This is a basic demonstration of throwing. So first of all, you're going to put your clay right in the center of the wheel and get it as close to the center as possible. There's 3 steps to throwing. The first one is centering. You need to get some water in there, and then the principle is to have your left hand push forward. Your wheel is going counterclockwise, and you're going to go full speed. The idea is to get the clay right in the center, and you're going to be pushing with the left hand, scooping the clay up with the left and pushing it back down with the right. These 2 hands are always together. Up with the left and down with the right. Noticing that the right hand has this kind of making a half orange shape, and I call this hand the mold making. You always want to have this hand making that half orange shape. So you scoop it up with the left and back down with the right, making that half orange shape. You don't want to have a pancake or a mushroom shape. You always want to have the widest part of the clay be the bottom. Up with the left. I'm really pushing forward, really locking myself in. My knees are locked in, my elbows are locked in my body, and my left elbow is digging either into my hip or into my belly to create a connection with my body. Up with the left and down with the right. Notice how the 2 hands work together. Each of them have their function. I'm pushing down with the right hand and bringing it up with the heel of my left hand to create that locking mechanism with my body. Up and down. Up. This could take a few minutes, but this part is very important that you get it completely centered before you go to the next step. If you're not able to center, the next steps will be very difficult to achieve. So once you find that your clay is right in the center, I have an air pocket, as you can probably see right there. And that's the purpose of centering and wedging your clay up and down, to be able to get all of the possible air pockets out of your clay. So I'll just do it a couple more times just to see if I can get that air pocket out. And then once you feel like you're completely centered, and you know that you're completely centered when your clay is not bouncing, jumping, moving, it's really quiet and smooth. So you want to get rid of your half orange and create a little flat roof on top of your clay, kind of with this hand like this. And then with centering, you have this position where your left arm is locked forward like this. When you go to the next step, which is opening, you're going to move back to the center and slow down your wheel to medium speed. You're going to take your 2 thumbs, make sure your clay is wet, and go push right in the center. As you hold your piece of clay, the whole amount of clay with this part of your hand. So you have this touching the wheel head, and you're going to push down until you have probably about 1/4 inch of clay at the bottom of your work. You're opening just the bottom of the clay, not the top. I'm spreading the bottom, the floor of the piece like this. So I'm going to go here and continue to open as I'm holding the clay really tightly. So now that the clay is open, everything that I would do to my piece is going to happen between, I'll show you, from here to here. Your hands are going to be working in that direction. That way the clay is going away from your fingers. If you work here, notice that your clay will get caught because it's going towards your fingers, and you're going to work right in this side. So I'm going to before you do the next step, you want to compress the floor really tight so you avoid getting cracks on the floor of your piece. Also, you don't want to make it too thin, because then you won't have enough clay to trim your piece. So I'm done with compressing, and my next step is to bring the walls up. For the 3rd step, you're going to slow the wheel a little bit more, and the left hand is here, lower your wrist. It's like a claw here that's gonna bring the wall up like this. And the right hand connects with the left thumb like this. So this is your position right there. Get a little bit of water. Practice this hand gesture. Lower your wrist. Have your right fingers connect with your left thumb. And you are going to left press towards the center of the clay. You want to create a pyramid, not an open form yet. Meaning you don't want this form, you want this. This is a stronger, more stable form. So again, lower your wrist, right fingers, connect with left thumb, and you're going to press and pull up. Slow speed. Notice that my elbows are locked in my legs, so I'm not loose like this. You want to be connected to your work and the wheel. Your knees are connected to the wheel, the splash pin. Okay, so again, I'm going from the very bottom, press and pull at the same time. You want to be firm, but delicate at the same time. And very slowly raise your hands. Allow the wheel to rotate enough so you let it grow and get taller in that spot before you move up to the next spot. Wait and bring your fingers up. Wait and bring your fingers up. Wait. That you allowing it to go. When you get to the very top of your piece, you're going to compress the lip right there. All right, so now I'm going to get the water from the bottom of the pot right here with a sponge. Your next step is to get some of this excess clay from the bottom. I'm gonna get over here with the edge facing the pot, and then you're going to dig in as if you're cutting a cake. Getting that, and then sometimes you want to add water in between that clay and the pot. Is. Okay, remove that excess, and then I'm going to give it one more pull just to get some clay that I might have missed here. You can do it with a sponge or with your fingers. Do it with my fingers so you can see. Squeeze and pull up. And then you have a 1 pound cylinder. So you want to remove this excess wet clay that is on the surface of the pot. So when you lift it off the wheel, you don't get it to slide. Clean that off. And then I'm going to do a little more cleaning at the bottom, just to get a little more clean. And then put a little bit of water in that groove so the clay doesn't get stuck back on the pot. And remove it. Clean that edge a little bit. Create a groove underneath so the wire cutters have a little path to go under. And then you put a little bit of clay underneath. Get your wire cutters and slide them under until the pot releases from that center. May take a few times. Sometimes I just help it along with the tips of my thumb, just like that. Get the wire out. Wash your hands before you lift it up. Dry them, and then you just gently lift it and put it in a different board.